What's up guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm back in the video where once again I'll talk about NBA legend Kevin Durant. And most recently KD with the Brooklyn Nets lost a heartbreaking Game 7 to Giannis' Bucks. Now in this game KD was fantastic, scoring 48 points, the most ever in a Game 7. He had one of the best ever clutch time shots, and throughout the entire game, for 50 plus minutes, Kevin Durant carried this Brooklyn Nets team that was undermanned and facing injuries. And I think after watching this game, a lot of NBA fans have newfound respect for Kevin Durant and his ability to carry teams. As in this Bucks series, he quite literally put this team on his back, and he nearly beat this Bucks team with guys like Bruce Brown playing 50 plus minutes in a Game 7, James Harden playing on one leg, Joe Harris selling out the entire team, and Kyrie on the sidelines with an injured ankle. And one of the big critiques and big narratives surrounding KD is that he can't carry teams. Now I think it's a little bit more nuanced than that. I think KD in the past few years, he definitely has the ability to do that, but he's been on such stacked teams, he can't showcase that every single night and score 40 or 50 points. I think if you go back to 2014 when he played without Westbrook, that was the last time KD really did carry an entire roster and did a fairly good job as OKC, still won 59 games, and he was the MVP for that season. But even if you believe KD cannot carry teams, I think after this postseason, we've seen he can, and right now in 2021, Kevin Durant has nothing left to prove in his career. He's a two-time champion, two-time Finals MVP, a one-time MVP, and one of the best scorers, if not the best scorer, in NBA history. And looking at the entire landscape of the NBA, I think there's only 4 superstars who quite literally have nothing left to prove. That being LeBron James, Steph Curry, Kawhi Leonard, and Kevin Durant. All 4 of those guys are multi-time champions and have won multiple MVPs, whether that be in the finals or the regular season. And getting back to 2021 and that Bucks series, KD in Game 5 had one of the best games ever. You could argue stats-wise it might have been the best playoff game in NBA history, as in this game KD had 49 points, he played all 48 minutes, he was the first player ever to play a 45, 15, and 10 game, he had 30 points in one half, he had the 3rd highest shooting percentage for a triple-double performance, and the 2nd most points ever in a triple-double game. And of course in Game 7 once again, KD was fantastic, having 48 points, the most ever in a Game 7. And unfortunately his team would lose this game, but I think in a weird way losing this game really did not hurt KD's legacy. I think this series actually emboldened it, if anything. And any rational NBA fan knows, KD losing this game in this series has no drastic impact on his legacy and his overall standing in basketball history. And if you are one of the people who thinks this series and this postseason has a negative effect on KD's legacy, let me give you guys some stats on how great KD was in the 2021 playoffs. In this playoff run, KD averaged 34.3 points per game, 9.3 boards, 4.4 assists on 51, 40, and 87 splits. And amazingly, those stats for KD are his best ever in a single playoff run, coming off an Achilles injury in 2019. And if you want to get more in depth and look at players in NBA history who played at least 10 games in the playoffs, averaged 34 points per game, and a true shooting percentage above 60, you only have 7 times that has ever happened in NBA history. You have LeBron James twice, Michael Jordan once, Kareem twice, Bernard King once, and now Kevin Durant in 2021 also joining that list. And keep in mind KD, for about 30% of this run, was playing without 2 healthy all-stars in James Harden and Kyrie Irving, which is some pretty important context. We're looking at how KD performed in the 2021 playoffs. And what I'm trying to prove to you guys in this video is that KD, once again, has nothing left to prove. I know after 2016 his move to Golden State, it was a pretty weak move, probably the weakest move in NBA history, but despite that KD still has nothing left to prove, and I'm going to show you guys why I believe that. So the first time in KD's career I would say he really carried a team would have to be in 2014 with the OKC Thunder. As in this year Russell Westbrook went down with an injury for 35 games, and in those games KD stepped up, averaging 32.9 points per game, 7.3 boards, 5.7 assists on 51, 39, and 88 splits. Definitely not bad for a player who quote-unquote can't carry teams. And OKC in those games still had a pretty good record, and they would finish the year winning 59 games. Now skipping ahead 3 years, 2017, when KD was on the Warriors, I know it's tough to talk about, but the 2017 Warriors, they still were being led by Kevin Durant as their best player. In that playoff run, KD averaged 28.5 points per game, 7.9 boards, 4.3 assists, on insane 55, 44, and 89 splits. And yes, I do understand the context. It was easier to score in that offense as you had Steph Curry as well as Klay Thompson and Draymond. But even with that being the case, KD in the finals stepped up big time, averaging 35.2 points per game, the 10th highest ever in a finals series, 8.2 boards, 5.4 assists, a once again insane 55, 47, and 92 splits. And in Game 3 of that series, Kevin Durant had the dagger shot over LeBron James, which effectively sealed the championship for the Golden State Warriors. And no matter how much you hate KD, you have to admire the 2017 Warriors as one of the most dominant teams of all time, winning 16-1 in that postseason, only losing one game to the Cleveland Cavaliers in Game 4. Now again, looking at 2018 for KD in this postseason, once again he was fantastic, averaging 29 points per game, 7.8 boards, 4.7 assists, on 48, 34, and 90 splits. And the big time moments for KD in this playoff run comes in Game 7 versus Houston, as he had 35 points, 5 assists and 5 boards on insane 52, 44, and 70 splits. But the best game for KD in this playoff run comes in Game 3 in Cleveland versus the Cavaliers. As in this game, KD had 43 points, 13 boards, 7 assists on 65% shooting, and once again had the dagger shot from this time 2 feet back of where he hit it in 2017. And those two big time shots for KD, in my opinion, they validate those two championships, as in the big time moments, he came through in the clutch for this Golden State team. Now very quickly, looking at 2019, once again in this playoff run, KD was fantastic, and before his injury versus Houston, he was averaging an absurd 35.4 points per game, 5.2 boards, 5.0 assists on 51, 42, and 90 splits. And at that specific point, KD was the best player in the NBA, and I don't think it was really close, as his scoring ability, his passing, his defense, his efficiency, there was virtually no holes in his game at this point in time. And we're looking at KD's 3 years in Golden State. I think top to bottom, he met his expectations, and he came through in the big time moments, and he played great for that Warriors team. Now those two championships he has, do they count? Yes. Are they the most valuable in NBA history? Definitely not. But it's still a championship to the championship, and you have to work hard and play great to achieve that big time goal. And one accomplishment I found for KD that once again validates his championships as well as his play, from 2017 to 2021, KD, all 4 years, has averaged at least 28 points per game on a true shooting percentage above 60. In the entire NBA's history, only one other player has done that in their careers, that being LeBron James, with 4. And keep in mind for KD, I'm only looking at his 3 years in Golden State and his 1 year in Brooklyn. And now after KD's 1 year in Brooklyn is finished, looking at his stats once again, they're fantastic, but the one thing that stands out is how his Game 7 stats have once again improved. And as it stands right now, KD has the highest scoring average in Game 7s in NBA history for a player who's played at least 5, at 36.2 points per game. And his shooting splits once again are off the charts, shooting 52% from the field, 48% from 3, and 85% from the line. So looking at Durant's entire resume top to bottom, what does he have to prove? He's a multi-time champion, a 2-time Finals MVP, he hit 2 big-time dagger shots, he had the big-time Game 7 shot, he's terrific in Game 7s, he's an all-time great scorer, and truly a one-of-one talent. And looking at all that, KD in my eyes has absolutely nothing to prove, and it's been that way ever since the 2018 Finals. So let me know your guys' thoughts. What do you think of KD's career? What do you think of his time in Brooklyn, as well as Golden State? Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments below, and as always, thank you guys for watching, hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time.